If it weren't so apparent in most places, in most churches, in most pulpits, in laziness and boredom from the pulpit, it would be amazing to us to see it. The earnest nature of the gospel ministry has all been but lost. Earnestness is demanded of the Christian minister by his theme, the gospel, and his object, God. It is for the subject of eternal, immutable truth delivered to us by the omnipotent, sovereign God of the universe. Ministers don't simply gratify curiosity, not merely to conduct the mind seeking for knowledge to the fountains where it may take a little bit and have its thirst quenched in some way, because they have in some way itching ears that just desire to hear something novel or new. No, but to save the never-dying immortal souls of human beings. He saves them in his preaching, in his ministry, in his office, from sin, from death, from hell, and he conducts the soul to the abodes of a glorious immortality. There's a nice little work that every minister should read called An Earnest Ministry by John Ingle James. And he says, a lack of earnestness in the execution of that commission, which is designed to save immortal souls from eternal ruin and raise them to everlasting life, is a spectacle which, if it were not so common, would fill us with amazement, indignation, and contempt. With this in mind, what kind of ministry do you want to have as a minister? Is it in line with what God desires? The state of mind and action is within the bounds and reach of every minister if they are earnest to go and get that earnestness which they so need. The state of the church today demands that all ministers consider the weightiness of the subject matter. Satan is ruining the souls of men faster than ministers can collectively today be used to save them. Even in our chat room on the Puritan board, we get excited when a single minister, after months and months and months, says, I was there when someone was converted. It does not matter what ministers desire. If they desire to be earnest, if they cannot obtain it, it must be gotten. You have to get that. You have to stir that desire up. It starts with a love for the truth and a love for the ministry in a manner and function set up by God, which means you're loving God and you're loving His truth first, more than anything, and then applying that to the people around you. Today, it's the opposite. We love the people more than we love God and His truth. And that then characterizes the ministry of a minister in a poorly executed manner. Our congregations must see the vast importance of this kind of ministry, which means it must be loved and desired by the preacher first. He must be earnest. There should be a great amount of prayer given to God to supply the church with this kind of zealous and earnestness in the ministry.